All right, so let me spam a quick another bronze tournament. One day we'll have to talk bronze tournaments again, and there hasn't been a lot of iron or bronze cards released, which is kind of a bummer. We should see some more on Thursday, some more tops cards released for lower levels. But yeah, the team, you can't really change the team a lot when they don't release a lot of lower level cards. So for my Babe in the Matrix, I saved it as a quick save game or a quick start game so that every week all the settings are already inputted. Oh, yeah. Oh, you've got a lot of time to prepare for Texas. We're talking probably not till September, maybe, that we're going to see Babe in Texas. The one I'm looking forward to is Colorado. How will Babe do in Coors Field or the Colorado ballpark? Because if he's going to break his 60 home run record, personal record, you would think it would be in Colorado. So we're on Boston now. We'll have a few Chicago teams to go through. Yeah, well, Babe's going to go to Wrigley soon there, Cubs fan Steve. All right, so the game is just loading up, or the quick save is loading up. And again, any of you can do this with any player in the OOTP database. If you want to bring back, Ted Williams, if you want to bring back Ty Cobb, any of those players you can do by setting up a file. And I always start unemployed. I go in cannot be fired, commissioner mode, and then I click OK. Again, for the settings, just so you know, when you're making your guesses, you've got about 3 more minutes if you want to fill out that Google form. If you're just getting here, again, it only takes you a minute or two. The only things I've changed that is from the default settings is I've taken off trading. I don't want Babe traded a week into the season. That defeats the purpose of this. And in terms of injuries, very low, and suspensions are low. Let's try and get Babe to play as much of the season as he can. So again, Babe Ruth will be in Boston. Again, then what you need to do, you'd go down to the MLB file. You'd go to, where is it now? Reports, free agents. From there, you go to the actions menu. You can either create your own fictional player or import a historical player. You click on the historical database, click confirm, and now you need to know the ID of that player, which you might have to go into a base game and research the player, find the player to find his ID. I don't know if there's an easier way to do that. And once you put in the ID, you put the year you want him imported from. So Babe Ruth was 1927, and everything else I leave the same. And then you import that player. When you do that, that player will show up in the free agent list. So here's Babe Ruth. He's a free agent, 32-year-old from 1927. So that's when he was with the New York Yankees and had a career high of 60 home runs. Pitching, I don't believe he pitched in 1927. No. He pretty much stopped pitching in 1921 and then pitched a little bit more in the 1930s. So you're getting the hitting meta Babe Ruth. So that's how you get a historical player into your game file. Once they're a free agent, you click on the player, you go to editor. That's why you need commissioner mode on. And you scroll down halfway to where it says team information, select Major League Baseball, and pick the team. So Babe is in Boston this week. He'll be in Chicago for a couple weeks in the Matrix. He'll start with the White Sox, and then he'll make his way to the Cubs in the next couple weeks. So I select Boston. And just like that, if I go to the team roster, Baltimore, Boston, Babe is put in by the AI manager, and Babe will be hitting third behind Yoshida, Tristan Casas, Devers is hitting fourth, Adam Duvall fifth, Justin Turner sixth, Arroyo seventh, McGuire and Enrique Hernandez against the righties. A little bit different against the lefties. Babe is still hitting third. We've got Hernandez moving up a bit and Arroyo dropping a little bit. So that will be the lineup that Babe Ruth plays in 2023. Enjoy 20 errors a game? Well, let's check out Babe's fielding history. Babe Ruth, real life stats, real fielding. In 1927, Babe Ruth, I guess they didn't keep track of zone rating back then, obviously, but you kind of see the numbers here, 2.25 RNG, 8 errors. So it was a career high in home runs, and it was a career high in errors. Yeah, 8 was the most errors. No, he had 11 back in 1921. But yeah, he's probably going to make a few errors out there. Your 1 minute countdown to get into the contest. We'll give you 1 more minute, then we'll close off the entries, and then we'll start Babe in Boston. I always like to play out the first game, his debut in a Boston Red Sox uniform. So let's see if he's on the schedule today. Boston is at home to Baltimore. All right, so we're going to manage that game. Once again, if the game crashes at any point before we have the final results, I resim it all. So if we get to the last day and it crashes, nope. If he didn't finish the season, we have to sim it all and we still use your original guesses. So hopefully we won't get any crashes. Yeah, those 1870 dead ball kind of era, that dead ball era, really strange lineups and different way you have to play the game back in those dead ball era times. All right, I am going to give you a 10-second countdown for finishing your Google form. We've got 36 entries. You've got a 10-second countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay, so 36 entries. Let's go back to the main screen. And there we go. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for those that have either followed today or yesterday. OOTP drops. We had Peter following yesterday, Thistle Droid. So thank you guys for sticking with me on this OOTP journey. And in terms of what our responses are looking like, all right, here is our home run projections. Bunch of you are in the 40s. We've got a low of 15. So here's someone that's playing the low odds a little bit, thinking Babe's going to suffer a long-term injury this season, which is possible, and only guessing 15 home runs. So anything under 15, pretty much anything from 25 or under, and this person has the home runs nailed. And we've got up to a high of 77. So Babe's going to go off in Boston for some of you. RBIs, we've got from 90 all the way to 165. Hits, 130 up to 202. Runs from 80 to 170. And in terms of total, Our lowest total is 327. Last week it was last week was 408, I think. And the highest total we have is 556. So everyone guessed something different except 3 people have the exact same number, which in case would go to a tiebreaker. What his final WAR will be. Someone predicted 12.6. And tiebreaker 2, how many strikeouts? Some of you are going way up to 200. But I don't think the only way we'll need a tiebreaker is if it's 452, 457, or 471. All right, those are the ranges of Babe Ruth's numbers. Injuries are very low. Yes, Den Brew, they're not even low. They are very low. Okay, let me just get back to that one there, and we'll go back to our game file. All right, so Babe Ruth in Boston, his debut game against the Baltimore Orioles, which is really weird. I kind of feel like we're in a matrix because last week he was in Baltimore playing in Boston for his debut. And guess what? We are up on our first big ad break. So Babe's waiting. He's waiting. He's there in right field. Look at him. He's up against the wall. But we'll be back in about 2.5 minutes to watch his debut. All right, we are back again. Welcome everyone in from all over this wonderful world of ours. As you can see, we have 166 from the USA, 22 Canadians, and then we've got 4, 8, 12 other countries representing today on stream, including France, Germany, South Korea, Australia, UK, yes, people from all over. Which is this flag here? That is the Netherlands, even from the Netherlands. So welcome into the Babe in the Matrix series. Let's go and get back to our game file. Babe is waiting in his Boston Red Sox debut as he is playing at home against the Baltimore Orioles. And again, thanks for those 36 of you that put your entry in. We should know the answer by the end of the stream today. And for injuries, yes, injuries, GT, I saw your comment there that you thought they were off. You're mixing that up with the when we do the live up-to-date game file on Mondays. On Mondays with the live file, I turn injuries off. And in the Babe series, I put them on very low. So just to have a little bit of realism in, but not too much that he might get injured for the full season. Leave a little bit of uncertainty in how Babe will do. All right, so here we are. We are going to try and catch Babe Ruth's at-bats. So we're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. And Babe hits third. So he will bat this inning. Yoshida first at the plate, and he grounds one to shortstop. That will be 1 out. We'll go to Cassis. That's how you pronounce his name. And he pounds one into right field, and we have our first home run of the Babe in Boston series. But it's not Babe. Babe is on deck. Babe saw that and he went, holy smokes, that kid's pretty good. I want it to be the first home run of the season. All right, here we have Babe with his shades on, 32 years old, going up against Cole Irvin. I don't know, Mr. E, can Cole Irvin handle Babe Ruth? Let's find out. Babe's first at bat. Here comes the pitch, and he takes a walk. Babe's got the eye, apparently. All right, Babe has his first walk of the season. Will he have his first run? Devers at the plate. He grounds one to second, and an easy double play will retire the side. But Boston does get a run to tie up the game. It is 1-1. We're going to go to the third inning. And looks like Babe should get up this inning. We've got the number 9 hitter, Arroyo, at the plate. He grounds one to short and can't beat it out. That will be the first out. Back to the top of the order, Yoshida at the plate. He pounds one into left field. That's going to drop in front of the center fielder, and he holds up on first. We have 1 on, 1 out for Tristan Casas, who hit a home run last inning. Can he make it 2 for 2? He pounds one into right field. Runner goes from first all the way to third. We have runners on the corner. All right, it is RBI time. Babe Ruth at the plate in his second at bat, facing the lefty. 1 away. Is this his moment to start to shine? Another walk. That's 2 walks for the Babe in 2 at-bats. Bases are loaded. All right, we are going to go to the 4th inning. And Boston. Wow, Boston does score a few runs. They're up 4-3. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. And I don't think Babe's going to get up. So we're going to go to the next inning. And bottom of the 5th, top of the order. So we will see Babe Ruth, Yoshida at the plate. That's going to go to the wall, and that should be an easy double. And yes, Yoshida leads off the 5th for the Boston Red Sox with a double. Tristan at the plate. He flies one out to center field. Will the runner tag? Yes, no. The runner holds up because Babe's up at the plate. Why should I risk an out? Babe Ruth, 2 walks in the game so far. 1 on, 1 out. Full count. Here comes the pitch. We are in the Matrix. 3 walks in a row for Babe Ruth. All right, we're going to go to the next inning. We go to the 6th. Boston adds a run to make it 5-3. Don't think he'll get up this inning, so we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. And Tristan Casas at the plate, having a good game so far. I think he's going 2 for 3 with a home run, and he strikes out. 5-5 game, bottom of the 7th. Babe Ruth at the plate. Babe Ruth, no official appearances because he's walked 3 times. Up against Keegan Aiken. I wouldn't pitch to him either, Jeff. Absolutely. Not in a 5-5 game. All right, here we go. Plate appearance number 4 for the Babe. 1-2 count, and Babe takes it for the strikeouts. He thought about swinging. 3 walks and 1 strikeout for the Babe so far. Let's go to the next inning. We go to the bottom of 8. And let's see, we're middle of the order. Babe probably won't get up this inning, so we're going to go to the 9th inning. 5-5 game. Baltimore gets 2 in the top of the 9th. So here we go. Setting up a possible walk-off situation for Babe Ruth. We're at the bottom of the order. Arroyo at the plate, up against the Baltimore closer, Felix Bautista. And he goes down swinging. All right, Babe needs one of the next 2 hitters to get on base. Yoshida having a great game, hitting .500 so far on the season. He takes a walk. Things are setting up nicely for a heroic moment. Tristan Casas at the plate. Bautista on the mound, and he goes down swinging. Well, you couldn't script this much better. We are in the bottom of the 9th. Opening day for Babe Ruth in Boston. Runner on first, Bautista on the mound. Babe Ruth, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. What do you do here? Do you walk him or do you pitch to him? You've got Bautista on the mound. Babe Ruth already has struck out once today. 1 swing could tie it all. Hero saying walk. How many strikeouts did he have in 1927? Wildcat says 89. All right, let's see. Let's see what they decide to do here. Here comes the pitch. Full count. Babe swings one into right field, and that is gone. Oh, what a debut for Babe Ruth in Boston. Down 2 runs, 2 out, full count, bottom of the 9th inning, and Babe Ruth does what Babe Ruth does. Home run to right field to tie up the game. Whoa. High fives all around for the Babe. All right, what is the command for replay again, guys? Is it Shift F10? Is that what it is? Before I push any buttons, what is the Super Stratocasta yellow line replay button? Shift 10? All right, Shift F10. Let's see, here we go. No doubt about it, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball into, looks like the right field bullpen or right field warm-up area. Number 72. Look at him. Look at that swagger as he goes back to the empty dugout. The players already went to the shower thinking the game was over. But no, Babe said, stick around, boys. The game's not over yet. Oh, that is the best Babe moment of the series so far. All right, let's finish this batter. Let's see if they walk it off here. Free baseball, maybe. Yes, we are going extra innings. Ooh, okay. Let's go to the bottom of the 10th. Uh-oh. Baltimore scores 2. They score 2. So now we are in the bottom of the 10th inning. We've got Brian Baker on the mound. Devers on second. Duvall at the plate. Let's see. Nobody out. 1-2 count. Could be a strikeout here. And yes, it is. 1 out. Bottom of 10. Verdugo at the plate. The DH could tie it up. Can he pull a Babe? No, it is a weak grounder, which will move the runner to third, and that is the 2nd out of the inning. All right, we're back to Tapia. I think former Blue Jay, if that's the player I'm thinking of. He's not having a good season. He's hitting 0. He's a pinch hitter coming in, 2 outs, runner on third. Come on, get on base for Reese McGuire. Get on base. Here's the pitch, and that is lined into center field. 1 run will score, and the Boston Red Sox are 1 home run away from winning this game. Okay, we've got Reese McGuire at the plate, hitting .333 early in the season. Brian Baker on the mound. Babe probably won't get up this inning unless they can tie it up. All right, here we go. It is a 1-0 count. Something's happening on this pitch, and he lines it to center field. That is going to be caught. Oh, and Babe comes oh so close in winning in his debut. So here we have the line score here. Ryan Mountcastle for the Orioles is your player of the game. going 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs, including a home run in the 10th inning. Babe Ruth finishes 1 for 2, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, and his first home run of the season. I'd say that's a really good debut in Boston. Yeah, well, they're very polite in OOTP. They're very regimented when they finish a game. But I do love the new animations that they have this year in OOTP. Every year it just gets better and better and better. Ah, true. Yes, Sharks. That might have been his first at bat. This was the second game of the season. I did play out the first game for all teams without Babe Ruth, so I don't know if he played that first game. But yeah, very good point. It could have been his first at bat. All right, we are going to sim ahead to the end of the month. And we'll take a look at the stats. We'll take a look at the standings. And then while we sim ahead to the All-Star game, we're going to take a look back at baseball history, this day in baseball, some of the things that happened on May 23rd in the past. I'm predicting this is going to be Babe's best year so far. Arizona, he had a really good season, did pretty good in Baltimore, but he was injured for 3 weeks last week. I think he could light it up in Boston. Hey, he is in Boston. Why wouldn't he? Yeah, you're watching the leaderboard. He just dropped off the home run one, but he is on the average. All right, let's take a look at the standings. First of all, can Babe get Boston in the playoffs? Well, Boston, we got a really tight division. 17-11 Orioles, and we've got the 14-15 Yankees at the bottom. So Babe is on a team just barely above 500 right now. And if we look at his stats, he is on fire. He's got that little fire symbol, so he's had a really good April. He currently is hitting 367. Yeah, 367. He does have 19 strikeouts in 98 or in 121 plate appearances, 21 RBIs in April, 36 hits, 9 home runs, and 21 RBIs. So let's take a look at Babe's game log. Let's see his outstanding games so far. Home run wise, he had a 2 home run game against Detroit in a 7-0 game. 4 RBIs, 2 home runs. Hey, it's Detroit, 2023 Detroit. And RBI wise, a couple games he's had 4 RBIs. A 10-5 win against Minnesota at home, and the 4 RBIs against Detroit. So those are his 2 kind of peak moments in the month of April. Hit-wise, he's had a couple 3-hit games, 3 hits against Minnesota and 3 hits against the Angels. All right, there is how Babe is doing. Looking at the April leaderboards, we're looking for the Babe picture there. There he is, leading the, let's go entire league. Second in the league in average behind the 392 Eric Hosmer. Whew. Who would have thunk? Eric Hosmer leading after April. Babe is number 1 in on-base percentage, number 1 in on-base and slugging. Weighted, his WOBA is 0.499. He leads the league there. And in the AL only, we see a lot more Babes. All along the bottom, all these power categories he's doing well in. And in the AL, home run wise, he's got 9, so he's tied for third in home runs in the AL. And overall, with 9 home runs, that puts him tied for fourth. So yeah, he is on pace. Pete Alonso, home run leader in the majors so far. All right, we're going to sim up to the All-Star break. We'll see if Babe makes it. And we are going to switch screens. All right, let's take a look back at some baseball history. Before we get to the Babe stuff, let's look at overall baseball way back in the day. This is what I love. This is what Ezra loves. But on this day back in 1890, 133 years ago today, and I found some kind of weird stats, some weird facts about baseball history, some kind of interesting, funny ones as well. So on May 23rd, 1890, in a 17-10 New York victory, New York and Pittsburgh combined for a record 20 stolen bases in a single game. New York swipes a record 17 against the battery of rookie Crazy Schmidt and Doggy Miller. Now, I know Doggy Miller is in the game, pretty sure. There's at least one doggy in the game. But I don't know if we've ever had Crazy Schmidt. And if we do, his hold runners better be 0 after giving up 17 stolen bases with Doggy Miller. Joe Hornung gets 6 stolen bases, and Crazy Schmidt gives up 19 hits and 17 runs. So if we're ever getting a Crazy Schmidt, he's probably going to be an iron 40 card as a pitcher. Maybe that was his only game. Yeah, could be. Could be. 133 years ago. On this day, May 23rd, 1895, the Louisville drops a game to Brooklyn because they have run out of baseballs. How crazy is that? The home team was responsible for supplying the baseballs, but the game begins with just 3 baseballs on hand. 2 of them were practice balls borrowed from Brooklyn. By the 3rd inning, the balls are worn out, and a messenger sent for new ones does not arrive back in time. So Louisville is forced to forfeit the game. Talk about crazy times back then. We've got 3 baseballs. 2 of them were warm-up ones, practice ones. And by the 3rd inning, you got nothing left. So you lose the game. Poor Louisville. On this day, back in 1901, Nap Lajoie intentionally walked with the bases loaded. So here's one of those Babe Ruth moments, right? What would you do with Babe? Would you walk him? You let him hit? Well, Baltimore let him hit, and he made them pay. 2-run home run. 122 years ago, bases are loaded. Nap is at the plate, and rather than pitch to him, they walk him. Now, I don't know what the score was. Maybe they were ahead by 7 runs. I don't know. But talk about respect. Talk about respect. And even Cleveland would change their name to the Naps, apparently in honor of this guy. So when we get one of these cards in Perfect Team 24, he is always one of the best cards in the game, typically. What do we got here? I saw something about Crazy Schmidt. Iridescent says, Crazy Schmidt is not good. Known for playing on a bad Pirates team. Okay. So what you're saying is if we get a Crazy Schmidt, he's going to be rated an iron, most likely. Yeah, a Barry Bonds moment for sure. Walking him with the bases loaded. That's who I thought of too. On this day, May 23rd, 1904, Chicago's Jake Weimer and Christy Mathewson duel for 11 innings before the game is called 1-1. Umpire Bob Emsley calls the game at the West Side grounds so the Giants can catch a train for New York. So, yeah, keeping the schedule. Giants had a certain deadline they had to meet. The game is not over after 11 innings. So we have a tie game. 119 years ago. Christy Mathewson, great player. And a couple more before we get back to Babe. Here's a Chicago Cubs moment. And I chose this one because those of you that play Iron Cobra or Bronze tournaments, many of you, are very familiar with Carl Lundgren. Right? Carl Lundgren, very good Iron Bronze pitcher. So when I saw this one, I thought, well, I have to show this one. 115 years ago, Chicago Cubs pitcher Carl Lundgren beats the Boston Nationals 6-4, which is his 10th straight in the last 4 years. He will post an 18-7 record, allowing no home runs. Yeah, it's kind of the dead ball era. You kind of maybe expect low home runs. But Carl Lundgren is an iron card in the game right now, and he is a must play on your iron or even bronze tournaments. You guys are finding some crazy stats. No pun intended. Career WAR of minus 4.7 for Crazy Schmidt. Now that's the meme, right? We've got to get OOTP to put a Crazy Schmidt. Mr. Sporer, if you're watching, maybe for next year's April Fool set, put in Crazy Schmidt. Please, for us, add a crazy card. 1890 Pittsburgh is an interesting OOTP start if you want hard mode. 22-112. There you go. Play the Pirates in 1890. Talk about a challenge. Play it in challenge mode. See how many packs you can get. All right. And our second last one. Back to Christy Mathewson. On this day in 1911, he would continue his mastery of the Reds. Sorry, Reds fans. Beating them 7-2 for his 18th straight win over the Reds. We all know teams that have good luck against some teams. I mean, Toronto never can seem to beat the Rays or the Yankees. But Mathewson handled the Reds fairly easily. He was on my theme team last year. He was on my lights, camera, action team because he appeared in a silent film as the love interest of the daughter of a millionaire. And the millionaire did not want his daughter marrying a baseball player. So that was the movie from like the early 1900s with Christy Mathewson. Yeah, look it up. He's been in a film. And our last look back at general history, I figured let's pick a year from Babe in The Matrix. Babe is the 1927 Babe. And on this day in 1927, Hack Wilson. Here's another one for you, Cubs fans, Steve. Hack Wilson of the Cubs becomes the first player to hit a home run that strikes the center field scoreboard at Wrigley Field. Now, honestly, Cubs fan, did you know that? Were you aware that Hack Wilson was the first guy to hit the center field scoreboard? And if you play Perfect Team, you know Hack can hit some dingers. Not great in the outfield, but he can hit some dingers at the lower levels. So if you're in Iron or Stone or Rookie, grab that Hack Wilson gold card and expect some home runs. There you go. I even taught a Cubs fan something about baseball history. He is a stud. He is a stud. Look at him. Look at the muscle. Look at the weight on that guy. Hack Wilson from the Cubs. All right, we will get back to some this day in baseball history or some Babe Ruth history in just a little bit. But hey, we got to go back and check on the game file. So let's go back. We are now at the All-Star break. And first, let's check the standings. Remember, these are the 2023, this year's game file rosters. Boston tied with Tampa Bay. So we've got finally a close rival for the 2023 Rays. Boston tied for the lead. Cleveland leading the Central. Rangers leading the West. In the NL, we've got the Mets way up on the Braves. The Braves are 12 games back. Cardinals leading the Central. Padres 13 and a half games up on the Dodgers. Wow. Wild cards at the All-Star break, the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Braves. And in the AL, it's the Red Sox, Rays, Mariners, Jays, all in contention for the division or for the wild card. Well, what do you think? How many home runs does Babe have at the All-Star break? I'm going to say 25. Let's see. Babe Ruth still has the fire symbol, still on a hot streak. At the All-Star break, July 11th, Babe has 28 home runs, 76 RBIs. He's hitting .334 with a WAR of 5.7, and he's broken the 100 hit mark at the All-Star break. You think he's any good? Let's take a look at his game log. Anything stand out home run wise? He had 2 home runs against Toronto in Toronto. Well, I'll take it. It's Babe. He can hit a couple in Toronto. It was an 11-10 game. And other than that, no other multiple home run games. RBI wise, he had 5 in Toronto, 5 in at home to the Yankees, and 4 against Tampa Bay. How's his fielding stats? Look at this, you naysayers. So far, he has 0 errors in left field, 0 errors in right field, and he's got 4 assists. But he does have his own rating of negative 3.2. So take that as you will. All right, let's go check out the All-Star lineup. Did Babe make the starting lineup? He better have. Otherwise, this game is broken. With numbers like that, unless someone like Aaron Judge squeaked in there. For the NL, Trey Turner, Michael Harris III, Austin Riley, Pete Alonso, Marte, Bryant, O'Neill, Blackmon, and JT. Justin Verlander is the starting pitcher. In the AL, Aaron Judge, Franco, Alvarez, Trout, Devers, Diaz, Adley, Marcus, and Jimenez. Bieber, the starter. Babe Ruth does not make the starting lineup, but he is on the reserve list. He did make the All-Star game. Unfortunately, Alvarez and Judge beat him out in the outfield. All right, let's just not watch the game, but let's finish it to the end of the game just to see how Babe does. Let's go to the 6th inning. Is he in the game yet on the lineup? No. Let's go to the 7th. Unless he pinch hit and is replaced, not seeing him in the scorecard. In the 8th inning, it is 2-0 for the AL. Go to the bottom of the 8th. And don't see him there yet. Don't see him there, so we'll just go to the bottom of the 9th. And it is a 4-1 game. So looking at the scorecard, Babe. Oh no, Babe didn't even get into the game. OOTP, come on. That does not make good content. OOTP does not let Babe play in Dodger Stadium. So the All-Star game was in Dodger Stadium, 55,000 fans in attendance, and Babe doesn't get to play. I don't see him on the scorecard. No. Well, let's see if he takes that out on the field. He probably was at the local Dodger hot dog stand anyway, so maybe having a nice beverage. Apparently, he used to smoke and drink beer in the dugout. I don't know if that's true. Probably smoke in the dugout, but can anyone confirm that Babe actually had a few beverages during games? All right, let's play up to the end of the month. And then we'll take a look at the overall statistics. Babe is third on the AL home run board, 1 home run away from Aaron Judge. Third in RBIs, first in on base and slugging. He is now tied for the home run lead in the AL, 1 behind Tyler O'Neill from St. Louis. As we head to the end of July. All right, looks like we are almost simming the month. And Bluebird, are you here, Bluebird? When I think Bluebird, I think Blue Jays, I think Twitter. Now I'm thinking Bluebird from OOTP, who I believe is in Perfect League this week. Right? Bluebird, were you one of the teams in Perfect League? You got to give us an update if you're still listening. All right, here we are at the end of July. We're on August 1st. Take a quick look at the standings. Boston is 3.5 games out, and they are in a wild card position. Barely. Babe doesn't have the red flame beside him. He's hitting .325, 32 home runs. So he's slowed down a little bit. He was 28 at the All-Star break. He's only hit 4 in the 2.5 weeks after the All-Star break. WAR of 5.8, 87 strikeouts, and 87 walks. Look at that. Synchronicity, 87 walks, 87 strikeouts. When we look at his real stats, he had 89 strikeouts and 137 walks. So he's definitely going to strike out more than he did in 1927, but he's on about the right pace for the same amount of walks. He also had 7 stolen bases in 1927. Let's see what he has this year. 0. He's not a runner in 2023. He hasn't even tried. 0 stolen bases and 0 caught stealing. Wow. Well, let's look at the overall leaders. How many Babe pitchers are we going to see? Look at that. Leads in on-base percentage, leads in slugging percentage, leads in WAR, 5.8. Most runs in the league at 84. What's this Oakland A's player here? 52 stolen bases for Ruiz. And all the power categories doing really well. In home runs, he is not on the top 5. I think he's tied for 5th with 32. Yes. So overall, he is behind Nick Castellanos, Mike Trout, Kyle Schwarber, and Aaron Judge. So when we compare Babe Ruth to today's players, He's in that category. Trout, Schwarber, Judge. Let's take a look at Judge compared to Babe. 314 average. He struck out more than Babe, and he's walked about half the times as Babe. So yeah, that makes sense. Struck out a lot more and walked a lot less. So Babe, what is your eye like? Look at that. Look at Babe's eye. Yeah, lots of walks. Okay, well, let's sim to the beginning of September. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go back to the main screen here and give you a few more facts about Babe Ruth. All right, here's some specific Babe Ruth information. Maybe you did know about it, maybe you didn't. I really hope they do a modern movie. Didn't they do one with the guy from Roseanne? Did they do a movie with him? Seems to me they did, like 20 or 30 years ago. They need to do a modern Babe Ruth with all the special effects and things that they have now. They could do a real cool movie as long as it's hopefully accurate. His birth date, did you know that for most of his life, he did not know his real birth date? Now it's accepted being February 6th, 1895, but he lived his entire life convinced that he was born February 7th, 1894. So the birth certificate with that date was for an unnamed male child in the Ruth family. Ruth's parents lost 6 children in infancy, including 2 pairs of twins, with only George and his sister Mary surviving. So talk about tragedy. I mean, it was a lot more common back in the day where the infant mortality rate was really high within that first year. So 8 kids, 6 of them did not survive too long, just Babe and his sister. So yeah, going most of your life not knowing your real birthday. Should have celebrated a day before. Can you imagine, if there was a twin of Babe Ruth, one that you develop as a pitcher for his full career and one as a batter? Reminds me of the Sedin twins for the Vancouver Canucks in hockey. They looked alike. They played very similar. They played their entire career on one team. Imagine 2 babes. He hit his first professional home run in 1914 in North Carolina during an inter-squad game in which he played shortstop. So he was recruited while he was a catcher. When he first started, when he signed his contract, he played shortstop. Then he would go over to pitcher. He could pretty much play anywhere later in his career. On October 17th, 1914, so World War I began in June, a few years after World War I started. Less than 2 weeks in his rookie season, he met Helen Woodford, a 16-year-old coffee shop waitress. Babe, come on, Babe. You marry the first girl you meet on your first day in Boston? Really? Apparently that's what happened. So he must have went to the coffee shop. I don't know how old Babe was. I guess when was his birth date? So I don't want this to be too creepy. 1894. Well, this is kind of creepy. 04. Well, yeah, 20. He's 20 years old. I guess it's not that bad. 20 years old, meets a 16-year-old waitress on his first day in Boston, and they get married. She's 16, she's beautiful, and she's mine. I don't know much about his marriage history. I don't know if there was a divorce later on, how many kids that they had. But there you go. He met his wife on his first day in Boston. Next, Ruth was a sidearm power pitcher who made 127 appearances on the mound before he played any other position in the field. So once he became pro, 127 appearances as pitcher before he played anywhere else. Look at him. Look at that young, svelte babe. Next up, in 6 seasons with the Red Sox, 3 World Series titles. In 107 seasons without Ruth, they've won 4. The Bambino brought a lot of World Series luck to Boston. So he was 500 as a World Series winner while he played there, and they've only won 4 in over 100 years since. Yeah, we always talk about Bambino and his luck in Boston, and once they traded him, apparently they didn't have much luck. Here's a Dodger reference. In Game 2 of the 1916 World Series, Ruth pitched 14 innings, a complete game, 14-inning win over the Dodgers, the most innings ever thrown by one pitcher in a single postseason game, which, the way baseball's played today, won't ever be broken. You're never going to break that record. 14-inning, complete game, World Series victory. Way to go, babe. And the last fun one, since he's playing in Boston this week, on June 23rd, 1917, Ruth was ejected by home plate umpire Brick Owens for arguing balls and strikes after he walked the first batter of the game. So the game started, he walks the first batter, and he's ejected. So Ernie Shore comes in. Eddie's a hockey player. Ernie Shore comes in, and the Senator's second baseman, Ray Morgan, was caught stealing. So the guy that he walked is caught stealing. Shore would then go on to retire all 26 remaining men, and the Red Sox would win 4-0. So it's a perfect game with Shore. Ruth is credited in a combined no-hitter. So way to go, babe. You're part of a no-hitter, even though you faced one batter and you walked him. But Shore is not credited with pitching a perfect game. So yeah, kind of crazy. Retires 26 in a row. He gets the leadoff runner out on a stolen base attempt, and you don't get the perfect game. That's right, Eddie Shore, old-time hockey cobra. Absolutely. And the wave is here as we round off our Babe Ruth trivia. Dr. Dynastic is back from vacation. Good to see you. We will be rating into him in about a half-hour time at around 12:30 Pacific time. We will raid into the good doctor. Okay, well, let's go check out. We are at September now. Let's go back to the Babe file. Good to see everyone here on a Tuesday. I hope your Tuesday is going well. Big rainstorm here in Edmonton yesterday, so got a lot of standing water, and we got a lot of fires. So I guess all that rain is good for the fires. As of September 1st, the Boston Red Sox are 8.5 games out. They are 2.5 games out of the wild card. This is with Babe Ruth in the lineup. Babe is hitting .323 with the 2023 Red Sox. He has 41 home runs, so he's picked up the pace. He had 13 home runs in August, 107 RBIs, 109 walks and 106 strikeouts, 146 hits and 106 runs. So those of you that guessed on the higher end, you're still in it. He's got a 7.0 WAR. We'll look at his game log here. No multi-home runs in August. Yes, he did have a 2 home run game against Seattle. So playing in Seattle, which they lost 8-7, Babe hit a couple dingers. 3 RBIs against the Dodgers at home and 3 RBIs against Kansas City at home in August. 4 against Seattle. So that's where Babe's personal stats are at this year. In terms of league stats, let's find out. Is he leading the league in home runs? Did he pass Aaron Judge? No. Mike Trout is leading the league on September 1st with 44 home runs. Babe is tied for third with Pete Alonso and Castellanos. Castellanos, yeah, with 41. Still leading the league in WAR at 7.0 over Juan Soto. He's got the most runs. And again, leading all these power categories here. So he still has a chance. In terms of winning the MVP, it's going to be close. Soto, Ruth, Trout, Alonso, all in contention for MVP. All right, let's sim the last month. Let's get the month of September done. To the end of the regular season. Sounds like Wayne's World again. Babe, swing, as Mike Myers would say in the Wayne's World movie, part 1, 2, and 3. All right, Babe, come on. Lead your Red Sox into the playoffs. Can't see the wild card standings right here, but Red Sox looks like they're close. Might be a couple games out of the wild card. Jays are in the wild card. Mariners are in the wild card. And we're getting close to the end of September. Babe Ruth, 4 home runs away from Mike Trout. Come on, Babe. You got 49. Let's hit 50. Oh, he had 2 home runs in that game. 2 home runs away from Mike Trout. He's at 51. 133 RBIs and probably no stolen bases. All right, the moment of truth. With 1 game remaining in the season, Boston does not have the elimination symbol beside it. Oh, baby, what do we got going on here in the wild card race? Boston, 1 game back of Texas. Oh, in the NL, we've got Philadelphia, the Braves, and Washington. Your Nationals have made the wild card. Talk about fluky. The Mariners and the Blue Jays, they look like they might face off in the wild card. Houston, the Twins, and Tampa Bay. All right, well, let's see when Babe plays here. He plays an early game. Okay, we got to do this. We have to do this because Babe Ruth is... Are they going to let me do this? Are they going to let me hit manage game? We got to find out. Boston must win this game. If they lose, the Rangers get the wild card. This is a must win. And again, once again, it's at Baltimore, this time in Baltimore. Can Babe take them into the playoffs? We are going to watch a couple of his at-bats. Nothing can beat what he did in game 1 with a 2-run shot to tie it with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. All right, we're going to play out a couple of his bats, especially if it's a close game. First batter takes a walk for Boston. And double play. So Babe Ruth is up in game 162, a must-win situation. They need a Texas loss, which would force a tiebreaker. Babe at the plate, and he takes a walk. Of course he does. All right, let's sim ahead. How we get some scoring here. Well, third inning, Babe is going to be up this inning. It's top of the order, one away. Yoshida, the number 2 hitter, he takes a walk. 1 on, 1 out, Babe Ruth at the plate. Here comes the pitch. Babe, oh no, it gets by the pitcher. The pitcher looks stunned. What went on there? We need to do a shift F10. I'll just stand here. I'm mesmerized that I'm pitching to Babe Ruth. So yeah, Babe gets on base. Let's go ahead to the 5th inning. 2-1 Baltimore. Not looking good. Babe has a chance to get up this inning, so let's play it out. Boston gets the first runner on in the top of the 5th inning. Dean Kramer on the mound, and goodbye. Goodbye. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. As we get a Casas 2-run blast. It looked a lot further than it did. Yes. Into the second row. There we go. All right, Yoshida at the plate, 3-2 game for Boston. Boston keeps it going. That's going to go down the line. That should be extra bases and a double for Yoshida. That's going to bring up the Babe. Game 162, a must-win situation. Dean Kramer still on the mound. We've watched probably 8 Babe at-bats, and he's walked 5 times now. Yeah. All right, let's move it ahead to the 6th inning. Boston, oh no. Baltimore has a huge inning, and they're up 7-4. We go to top of 7. Kyle Bradish on the mound. Casas at the plate. And that may drop. No, that is going to be caught. All right, we got a 50-50 chance that Babe Ruth walks here. Nick Vespi on the mound. Full count. And of course, the 6th walk we've seen today. All right, let's go to the 8th inning. Top of 8, Boston can get nothing. Looks like they may miss out on a wild card. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Felix Bautista looking to close it out. Dribbler down the third base line, and he is safe. Runner on. Reese McGuire at the plate. Oh, there is life in Boston. 2 on, nobody out, top of the lineup. Tristan Casas, he can tie up the game. No, he takes a pitch on the outside corner. Strike 3. Yoshida, 1 out, Babe on deck. Oh, that ball gets away. Runners are going to move up. That will take away a likely double play possibility. And we have a full count on Yoshida. Oh boy, let's get a walk. Can we get a walk? We do. Oh, here we go. 1 out in the 9th inning. Babe Ruth at the plate. Well, remember back in 1903, they walked Knapp with the bases loaded. Seriously, what do you do here? What do you do if you're Baltimore? Baltimore is out of the playoffs. You pitch to them, right? If you're Baltimore, you don't care if you win this game. Do you pitch to them? Do you walk them? Do you give up the 5th run? All right, babe, your moment in the sun. 1 out, bases loaded. Oh, he lines it into right field. That is going to drop. That will score at least 1 run. And Babe delivers. He delivers with an RBI single to make it 7-5. That will bring up Mr. Devers. Devers takes a 3rd straight looking. Ouch. That will leave it up to Adam Duvall, hitting .271 on the season, 29 home runs. This guy has some power. Bases are loaded. Full count. And he hits what's probably a ball, and he's such a slow runner that they get him out. So Babe Ruth did what he could do. He went 2 for 2 in the game, 3 walks, 1 RBI. Wasn't enough, though, as the Red Sox are going to come at least 1 game short. Let's take a look at the final standings. So close. So Boston would finish 2 games back. Didn't matter because Texas won their game anyway. So even if Boston won, Texas was going to go to the playoffs. So here is your playoff tree. We've got Blue Jays versus the Rangers, Mariners versus the Twins, Cardinals, Nationals, Phillies, Braves, Padres, Mets, and Astros, Rays. Let's go till the end of the playoffs. Let's see who wins the World Series with Babe Ruth as a Red Sox. Mariners advance, Rangers advance, Braves advance, and the Nationals advance. We go to the division series. Braves, Rays, Padres, and Astros. Makes sense. I could see those 4 teams going that far. And the Rays and the Padres in the World Series. Monday, it was the Rays that won it with the live file, and with the Babe Ruth Matrix file, it is the... Oh, we got to save the game coming up here. The suspense is mounting. Can the Rays force a Game 7? They do not. The San Diego Padres are your World Series winners with Babe in Boston. Okay, so let's check out Babe's overall stats. 134 runs batted in. And he's not on the home run leaderboard. Yes, he is with 51. And we're just letting the game finish off what they need to finish off here. All right, overall leaderboard. First, Babe Ruth finishes 2nd in home runs in the league, 2 behind Mike Trout. That's the best he's done so far. That's the closest he's come to his 60 home run individual record. He has 51. Led the league in slugging percentage, led the league in WAR by far, 9.2. Juan Soto was 7.6. Individual stats, let's take a look. The moment of truth. He finishes the season on a hot streak. No stolen bases, no caught stealing. 328 average. I'm just going to write these down. 134 RBIs, 51 home runs, 184 hits, and 133 runs. All right. who's got my math calculator, he had a 9.2 WAR. So yeah, look at these red numbers: runs, RBIs, walks, 134 walks. So 134 plus 51 plus 184 plus 133. Someone verify my addition. I got 502. I got 502. Ozzy, you got 502 as well? Hero Driver 501. Let me double check. 459. Yeah, I got 502. Cobra, you are just chipper this afternoon. All right, 502 is the final result here. So let's get out of the game file here and go back to the main screen. And by the way, I am keeping track of all the Babe kind of key statistics on my Discord channel. So if you're not on my Discord, go get on the Discord. In the chat there. Small community, but a community that shares a lot of information on there. And we talk about some of the highlights and lowlights of our season. So yeah, feel free to join the Discord. And there's a section there called Babe in the Matrix where I post all his statistics from the games that he's played so far. So he's been in Arizona, he was in Baltimore, Atlanta, and this week in Boston. I always like to check if Babe won any awards. Let's sim ahead to the award ceremonies. He'll be in contention. 2 of the 3 seasons he's played, he was 3rd in most valuable player voting. So this could be the season he finishes 1st or 2nd, because this was his best season. Can't wait for those Colorado numbers to come in. All right, Babe Ruth. Let's see. You were batter of the month in April, selected to the All-Star game. You signed a 5-year extension with Boston for $147 million. Guys, what's 147 divided by 5? It's like what? 28 million a year in 2023 salary. So good on you, Babe. You hit your 400th career major league home run. You were batter of the month in September. You won the Platinum Stick Award at left field, and you won the 2023 AL Most Valuable Player Award. Babe, the MVP. Let's take a look at all of our winners. I think we simmed that, right? Yeah, we did. I'm just going to sim ahead a little bit to make sure we've got all the award winners. And I think we should now. Here we go. Your awards in the NL. Your MVP was Juan Soto with San Diego. Your Cy Young winner, Blake Snell, went 12-8. Rookie of the Year, Corbin Carroll with Arizona, and Josh Hader won his 4th Reliever of the Year award. I see those names a lot when I sim. And in the American League, we have Babe Ruth winning his 2nd MVP award with a 328 average, a 9.2 WAR, and 51 home runs. Kevin Gausman from Toronto, your Cy Young winner, 21-7. Yoshida from Boston was the Rookie of the Year, hitting 312 with 30 home runs and a 4.8 WAR. And your closer, your reliever of the year, second year in a row, Emmanuel Class with 37 saves. Or not Ty Cobb, Sandy Koufax, although I take a Ty Cobb. Exclamation ticket, exclamation enter gets you in for the one winner 10-pack contest. Bluebird, are you back in the chat yet, Bluebird? Bluebird, calling Bluebird Silver. Give us an update on your perfect league. Here we go, 10 packs. Let's let her rip. 10 packs on the Blue Jays. Ty Cobb, Sandy Koufax, Diamond Topps cards. Oh boy, these packs are hot. Hot today. Not even a silver. The OOTP pack gods are saying, Lap, you picked the wrong day to open, but I did get a silver future legend. And a gold Rob. Hey, there you are, Bluebird. Thank you, Mr. Ree, for the emotes, bringing some pack luck on that last one. Bluebird, I got to ask you for when I shout you out, thank you so much for the subscription today. I noticed that a little bit later, subscribing with Prime. Thank you so much, Bluebird. Got to ask you what your favorite team is, though. And if you want to whisper or tell me in the chat, what's the biggest city you live by or live in? Because I want to shout out your city on a future episode. All right, let's open a few more packs. Exclamation ticket, exclamation enter gets you into the contest. Come on, one diamond. One diamond. Eddie Murray, build a lineup. There we go. Ask and the diamond shows up. Seattle Mariners, cool. We got another Seattle Mariner fan here. That makes 3 with IBDB and with Dr. Dynastic. All right, Ty Cobb. Is this a good card? I don't know my future legends that well. Is this how the cool kids still dance today? Rolling out a future legend, Jackson Morrell. Let's see what his stats look like. Holy smokers, he's going for 25,000. Woo! 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 Wow. And synchronicity, guys. I talk about synchronicity. San Diego won the World Series this week with Babe in the Matrix, and I pull a San Diego future legend. There we go. All right. Well, you guys can tell me if he's playable. Do I put him in at what position? Is he shortstop? We'll check in on that a little bit later. Second base, third base, shortstop. He's going for quite a bit. I don't know if that's because of missions or because he's playable in low diamond. All right, 2 more packs. Thank you, Jeff, for the emotes. Thank you, Mr. Ree, for the emotes. You brought some of that pack luck. And our last pack today is... I will take it. That card was definitely well worth it. Was not a Ty Cobb, but it was a Diamond Future Legend. Thank you once again, guys, for joining me today, for spending your time with the old dog from Canada amongst all the wildfires going on. Your support, your comments, your YouTube views, everything that you do, subscribers, followers, bit contributors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is a great day for baseball. Oh, except for me because it's soaking wet outside because of all the rain we got yesterday. So I'll stick to OOTP. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Again, we never know what someone's going through. And just imagine when someone does something nice for you, think about how good you feel. So the littlest gesture, even buying someone a coffee in the drive-thru of Tim Hortons, can make someone's day, can turn that anger, can turn that depression, can turn that anxiety around just simply by a nice gesture. Thanks, guys. Laptop Hound signing out tomorrow with Ezra Denny, back on Thursday for the Hawk Report with a C. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next episode. Don't go anywhere. Taking you to Dynastic.